So what happened is that when I was around 12, I got into snowboarding with my family and everything. And as soon as I went into snowboarding, I always wanted to be like pro snowboarder. You know, I was meant to be on a board or something. I always thought like for me, a board sport is my thing that I should do. You know. And then at a certain moment when I was like 15, we went on a snowboard trip with the family, and I broke my elbow on the trip here, and I had broken that elbow before already when I was 10. I was sliding off the stairs at home and broke it, and then I broke it again on that snowboarding trip, and it was almost at the same place, which meant that like this arm I cannot fully stretch anymore. If I do this, I can fully stretch here, but this one is not fully stretched anymore. I can here reach my shoulder, but this one I cannot reach anymore. So I lost a bit of the grease, which to me said that like snowboarding is gonna be a pain if you want to go further. If I break it again, the doctor said I'm probably not gonna move it anymore. So for me, it was a huge fallback. It was like, oh damn, I don't know what I want to do now. I don't know how I'm gonna express myself, or how I want to express myself. So I was always a bit lost and not finding where I wanted to go. And I come from a very conservative family. I have in my family there's a lot of people that are like self-employed and a very strict kind of family, not super strict but stricter. All my cousins and nephews or siblings or something are doing high-end jobs. They own their own company, or they're like high-end salesmen, all that kind of stuff. So for me, I was always in like a family that put on like, you should go study, you should have a good job, you should have your own house, car,
expectations.
Everything. There were a lot of expectations that I had to live up to, but I always had this thing in my mind that I wanted to do something with a board sport. And for me, I went to school and I did quite well. It was okay until I went to like high school. There I was a bit more lost. I didn't really know what I was doing. Had like bad friends around me. There were like bad influences where I got like dragged into. I first, like a lot of times, I didn't want to like go in with it, but the longer you stay with your friends, the more you're gonna go fall into that pit of maybe the bad habits of your friends as well and all that stuff. So it went a bit sideways with me, and I felt really lost. But I finished school. I went working. I was a salesman for 3-4 years, but I always felt like I lost something. Like I was not me or something. It was just weird. I was like not the person I should be. I was the person that was expected of me to be, but it was not who I wanted to be. And at a certain moment, there was a friend of mine. He asked me like, "Hey, Guy, you want to go wakeboard?" And I'm like, "Okay, after what boat are we hanging?" And he's like, "No, we're gonna go to a cable park." And I'm like, "Cable park?" I never knew what a cable park was. In this moment, I'm 26. Just to give a little side story to it. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And we went to a cable park in Oudenaarde.
Sorry to interrupt. At the moment of this happening?
Yeah, at the moment of this happening, I'm 26. I was in that sales job and everything. And that guy, he asked, like, let's go to the cable park. And I'm like, okay, cable park. And it's in Oudenaarde, which is a city here in Belgium. It's half an hour from where I used to live. And so we went. And I really had a good time, you know. It was really nice. And the funny thing is that I went again and again. And like after 6 times I already bought a board because I was like, damn, I really like it. I'm gonna go all in for it, I think. Fun side story is that when I was 12, when I started snowboarding, I did a wakeboard camp, which I learned wakeboarding, and I didn't like it. So I never did wakeboarding for 14 years. I never wakeboarded because I didn't really like it. It was behind the boat. I didn't like it. I didn't do it anymore. I was way more into that snowboarding. But after everything that happened, I went into that wakeboarding. When I was 26, then I went to the wakeboarding with a friend, and it started rolling. And I was like, okay, man, I really like it. And it came to a turning point that I quit my job, not because I want to pursue the wakeboarding or something, but I had an opportunity to go abroad to South America and there work for a year. So I did that. I went for a year working there, and during my year there I had this wakeboarding sport already a bit, like I was doing it, and I had a friend there that also did it, that I knew through friends that I already had a little bit over there. and they took me wakeboarding, and the wakeboard park was actually not that far away from where I was living. So I had the opportunity to go a lot, and so I worked and I went to the wakeboard park and then a little bit from this and that, and so it grew and it grew, and I was wakeboarding way more and more. I did my first competition over there. It was actually just a fun competition, not for real, but it was fun, and it pushed me more to like do more, and that's where I got my first, not my first, but also a fallback into wakeboarding. I dislocated my shoulder for the first time. I tried an air trick, which is like jumping out of the water without a jump, just using the tension of the cable. I overdid it, and actually I overdid it because I was trying to impress somebody, and it's always a bad thing to trying to impress other people. You should never rely on that. It's just your ego going up, and I overdid it, and yeah, I felt pretty bad. I saw stars when I came up to the water, but I just thought, okay, a hard fall, no problem. Apparently, it appeared that I dislocated my shoulder. I didn't even go check the doctor or anything. I just went home. I couldn't move my shoulder for 2-3 days, and I was like, okay. I actually had a wakeboard trip coming up, so I just wanted to go to the wakeboard trip. I did the wakeboard trip. It was a bit horrible with the pain, but it was all fine. I wakeboarded for 6 days, so fine. And then when I got back from that trip in South America, I went to the doctor, and he actually saw that something broke off my shoulder, and so I dislocated my shoulder for the first time, so that was a bit of a setback. But I never really felt it as a setback. I just continued. It was fine. So I came back from South America, and I went home, and I had to look for a job here in Belgium, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start working and wakeboarding because I really like it. And I started to work at the cable park where I went to for the first time with my friend, right, in Oudenaarde. And there I started to work there, and as soon as I started working there, I was really in love with what I was doing because I was working in my sport that I really liked, and I was not good at it, but I was just having fun at it, and it was really nice, and I was just learning, and I just wanted to help and be better for everybody. And you know, it's a different feeling if you go to work because you need to go because you need to earn money, or you're going to work because you just like what you do. And that's what I had over there. So I really liked it. I had a lot of fun with it, and I was there 2 years. And in the second year, there was a bit of a problem with the boss over there. In my opinion, there was some problems at the cable, and I wanted to discuss it with him and see where we can go through. But I got literally told, like, you don't need to think, you just need to do. So for me, it was a bit like, okay, that's weird. You don't want to progress or something. Okay, it's fine for me, but let's see. And what happened then, 3 days after, I got fired for that reason, apparently, that I should not speak up or something. And I guess the boss didn't like that somebody wanted to try to, I don't know, better the system, or like he probably liked more that he came up with the ideas or something. So he didn't want to have a lot of input from the outside, so he fired me. And in that moment, I got into a really bad space in my head, because you should understand while I'm telling this story is that, like, with my background, that I come from a family where I'm expected to do quite well and have a high-end job and everything, but it was not me. And then I decided to go into a sport, to work in my sport, and to finally find myself happy, but not do at all what my parents or what my family wants. And I got a lot of shit for it, that I'm doing this. They really don't like it, but I took the decision on my own, and I wanted to do it, and then get fired on it. Yeah, get fired at a place that you like to work, where you love to go, and then get fired was, man, that was a mental breakdown for sure. I was 6 months, 8 months in a really bad headspace, that I didn't know what I was doing. I was completely lost, and I was 27 years old at the moment, which is not when you should be lost, you know. And yeah, it took me a while to get over it. I didn't understand what happened. I was mad. I was looking for something else to do. And then what happened? I started, because they fired me. I also couldn't come back anymore. I couldn't wakeboard there anymore. They put me on the blacklist to wakeboard. Fun fact: I'm the only Belgium rider that is on a blacklist on a cable park in Belgium, I guess.
Interesting.
Which is quite funny. And so I couldn't come back, so I had to find another place to go wakeboarding. And I always heard about Lakeside Paradise, that it's nice, and I've been there before, like once or twice maybe, but it was quite far away from me. It was 1 hour drive, and I went 1 hour.
You were living at the moment?
At that moment, when I'm telling you now, I was living in Kortrijk, which is 1 hour from Lakeside Paradise, Knokke, where we are now, filming. And so I went. I decided, okay, let's go there. And I also saw already, like I was getting more into the scene, so I was getting to know more the people who are already wakeboarding, and everybody was always talking about Lakeside. So it's a good place. They have a lot of obstacles. It's nice. It works well, you know. So I wanted to check it out also, and for me it was also more the nearest cable to go to, the next to that one that I got fired in. So I went there, and then I went there with my homie Sander Dirks, and I think the whole winter, I think every weekend we were here, man. Every weekend we were here shredding and everything, and just having fun, just progressing, and this and more. And this helped me to get over the fact that happened. And then at a certain moment, I just decided, like, why would I not start working here then? I saw that here in this place, that there's a lot of people that already are a long time in it. A lot of people that are like 10 years plus into the sport, that work here, that have a lot of knowledge. They do it proper. You come here, everything is well arranged, everybody feels welcome. It's just a different kind of vibe that I already had seen in where I got fired. So for me, I was like, okay, maybe I should do it. And then we have a dog in the back. So what happened is that I started to work here, and then this actually helped me a lot of, like, not having this pain, feeling this pain anymore, of like, okay, I got fired at the thing that what I love to do. So for me, yeah, I got back up, and I was like living again, and it was way more nice. So yeah, and this is like, I don't know, my second year in wakeboarding or something, and started to come here more and more. So from a really hard setback where I fell, if you can say, like fell, like not literally, but like figuratively, I fell and I had to pick myself up again or something. It took a while, but I found it. And if you can, I always thought in the beginning when I got fired or when I got like kicked out, that I was like, damn, I'm a bad person. I'm not good. Everything that I'm trying is not going well. I tend to fuck up. I was not having a good time, in my life. And so, but now after this, I started to come here at Lakeside, and now I've been working here for 4 years now. I really love it. I progressed into the sport. I know everybody in Belgium already that works in the sport, or like almost, or wakeboards. The community in Belgium is not that big. I know everybody. It's super nice. I'm totally integrated. So for me, I now look back at this horrible time period as a good thing, because when I got fired, I was in a bad place, but now it pushed me to come here, and I found this place, and now this is my happy place. If I would never got fired there, I probably would have stayed there and got into a rhythm of like how they want to work there, and I would never have seen how it could be. So it's super nice to see that if you actually fall and like get set back hard, that you need to search for something else. You're scared. You're like, what am I doing? You don't know what you're doing, and it can eventually turn into something super great where you love where you are. You like the people around you where you're working. Go with a smile to your work. I recently changed my house where I live. I just live over there. You cannot see it on the camera, but it's right in front of me, like 500 meters away. It's 3 minutes with the bike. So I rearranged my life around my work, and it's super great, and it's to be nice. And this is like the biggest setback that I had, and like I came over it, and it's super nice. And for me, it's super fun. This is one of the biggest setbacks. After this, like progressing and working here and progressing, I also had minor setbacks. I told about the one dislocated shoulder. Last winter, I dislocated my other shoulder, and this is just how it goes with an extreme sport. You tend to fuck up. You're like, most of the time you're doing well and doing fine and okay, and then you fall and you have a little bit of pain or something, but breaking or like dislocating shoulders, ripping muscle is already a little bit harder. And this winter I dislocated the other shoulder. Again, ego going up. I was here with my buddy that I used to come here as well, with Sander. We hadn't seen each other for 6 months. He still rides at the other cable park where I got fired, and we were here wakeboarding. So we thought about it, like, let's do a new trick that we never done. You know, like which one should we do? We're talking about, okay, let's do a switchback 5 into the wall. And that's what I suggested. He's like, okay, let's do it, but let's first do a switchback 3, because that's the trick before, where you should have easily, steadily locked and then progress to the higher end version of the trick, right? And I'm like, yeah, of course, let's do it. And we start to do that a little bit, and at a certain moment, my friend, he's in front of me, he tries the trick and he falls into the water. And I'm like, I already tried the trick 2-3 times. I landed it, super sketchy, not good, but I was like, okay, let's go up, you know. So I do another lap around the course, and I see my friend is swimming away, and I'm just there like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna put it down and like slap it in his face and be like, yeah, I can do it, you know. So ego comes up, and yeah, I do the trick. I land bad. I dislocate my shoulder. So yeah, that's another little setback. It's all fine, and dislocating shoulders, to me, it always seemed like, whoa, it's such, you know, you're never going to move your arm or something. It's actually quite fine. There's different degrees of dislocating shoulder, but I had the minor ones, fortunately. So yeah, but this is a little setback, and because of the ego again, and it taught me that, yeah, ego is never good, man. You should always just ride for fun and just easily progress and like take it by step. And this is now, for example, here I work and live here, and I'm always around, and people ask me also like, hey, how do you do this, or they want me to explain a trick. Since this year I'm also doing the team training here with the Lakeside Paradise team, and I need to explain the younger kids or my peers how to do it, and I'm the guy that always goes about like basics first. Yeah. Basics is the most important thing. Even you, Matt,
that's what you tell me.
That's what you tell me. And I told you, basics first. And it starts with the easiest things, man. The easiest thing for me, what I say is, you just need to learn to ride switch everything, just ride around, do corner switch, then do obstacle switch, just straight, and then we go to board slide, and then we go to back 90 maybe, switch blind, normal blind, you know, the basics. And for me, for example, we shot today a little bit here from corner 4 to 5, the air trick zone. And this is also the zone where you also see like everybody jumping in the air, like, oh, spectacular big tricks, you know, everybody wants to do the Superman, air rally, blah blah blah. I don't really like air tricks that much. I just do them because I know I need to do them for like national championships and everything. I always had a big struggle. It's my least best part of wakeboarding or something, or my least set of tricks that I have. But in this air trick zone, there's a lot to learn without air tricks as well. It's a zone where you have nothing that blocks you. You can do whatever you want, and you're free for like 100 meters on the water. So what I usually tell most people that start to begin with wakeboarding is like, that zone is your fun zone. You should practice your ollie in that zone. I strongly believe that if you pull 500 ollies, you have a good ollie. So why don't you use that straight where you're normally doing nothing as a beginner? Why don't you use it to do 2 or 3 ollies after each other? And if you do 2 or 3 ollies in a session, every time you pass that thing, I think you're going to pass it in a session 40 times maybe, that section. So then you're going to do 2 or 3 in that one session, means that you're doing 80 or 120 ollies. That means that you need to come it 4 times, and you already done it 500 times, and you have a strong ollie, which is the basic. Because you need to jump on obstacles. You don't need to ride on it if you want to be good. You need to jump on it. So, and if you've done that for the ollie, let's go switch ollie. It's that easy, in my opinion. Also, everybody always wants to go like, oh, I want to do a big trick, I want to do this, I want to do that. In my opinion, the more you have board control and know where your body position is and what you're doing, and if you go to the left or to the right or something on your board, it's also how you're angled with your body, and it's also like already like a similar feeling. If you're gonna learn to do an air trick, for example, you need to learn to cut hard. You can also just practice on the word, just cutting hard from left to the right, just to get the feel of it. And that's the beginning. It's the first step of the trick. So why wouldn't you do it? So yeah, that's my main focus. I always go basics, and it's funny that I tell this, go for the basics, and then shred with a friend, skip the basics, hurt myself, I get another slap in the face that tells me, Guy, if you say something to other people that you need to do, you should probably do it for yourself. And I strongly do it myself too, but there's like little moments in life that you're like not aware of your ego coming up maybe, and then you get set back a bit, and then you need to learn to pick yourself up again afterwards.
Let me ask you this. While coming back to you're 26 years old, you went for your first cable park. Did you fall a lot?
I actually don't remember that well, but I remember though, like for most people the start is always hard, and most people tend to fall a lot during the starting process because you're getting pulled fast. And now we're in an age of time where there's a lot of cables that run slower speeds and everything. But when I started wakeboarding, that was already like 30 kilometers is the standard, and I learned on 30. So, but I remember that the second try I was on the water, and I fell on the first corner because nobody said what I had to do, and I didn't know that I had to go to the right, to go to the left then in the corner. But I fell first time, and then I just went to the dock and I just asked him like, what's up with the corner? He's like, I just need to go to the right and go in between the buoys, and then you're gonna do it. Oh, okay, alright. And then I did it easily, and I was like, okay. For me, the going around and starting was not a hard process, because I think, like I said, like I always wanted to do something with a board sport. I've always noticed that I'm good at board sports. I've seen that I've good balance on it. It's easy for me, easier than most people that I've seen doing it, and for sure the basic stuff, like the starting and going around, is chill. So yeah, that was not the hard part for me. I think I started lapping quite fast. It was just trying to get the tricks, you know. My first 360 took a lot of time to learn as well. I've tried a lot, and fun fact, the first trick I ever landed was not a 360 but a 540. But I thought I was doing a 360. I was so dumb.
How is that possible?
Yeah, I was just like, I went with my switch foot to the kicker on the right side and did a frontside 5, and I landed with my left foot forward.
Okay.
But I never thought about like what foot I'm forward going to it or something, or landing. I was just doing something. I remember that like on my third or fourth session there, I landed it, and I sent it. Somebody took a video and I sent it to the guy that first took me there, just to tell him like, yo, look, I'm doing a 360 now. And I sent the video to him, and he's like, bro, that's a 540. And I'm like, oh. And he's like, we watched the clip. You're going in with your right foot forward, you land left foot forward. So I already, before sending him that clip, I already watched that clip like 10 times for sure. Everybody, if you get a clip, you watch again and again, like, oh god, it's 360, you know. And then after he said it, I was like, oh yeah, right. So super weird, but I'm a bit of a weird guy. I'm like, I now know how to wakeboard. I'm not saying I'm not the best in Belgium for sure, but I know some stuff how to do it. But if you ask me if I'm going left foot forward in or right foot forward in, or what trick, or like if you see a trick, like I need to sometimes rewatch it 3 or 4 times to just see, he's going right foot forward, okay, and then rewatch it, and okay, this happened. It's weird that I know how to wakeboard, and sometimes I still like don't even know the names of the tricks, or how to slide, or what the color of the slide is, or like if you're going in like this, how you're gonna end up. Like I actually, if I need to practice a run for the Belgian Nationals, I'm there in my room just writing it down and then checking, okay, I'm starting with right foot forward, I put an arrow on my paper to the right, and I'm going to do like a 360, and then after that I'm going to go to the left, and which foot I'm going to end up? Like this, okay, alright. And we're talking about 360s, 540s, 720 max, which is not a lot of rotation. And I still, after 7 years of wakeboarding, don't even grasp it that hard to easily talk about it. If you're gonna do this, I'm gonna land like this. I've been quite lucky with tricks. I've never had a lot of needed attempts to land a trick. if I try a new trick, I usually don't need to try a lot to land it, which is nice and not nice. It's nice because you learn fast, but it's not nice because it's not super rewarding always. I remember one trick I learned when I was wakeboarding at my second year. I did an underwhirly 5, which is a weird trick to learn. Nobody does it anymore. It's a boat trick. It's not even a cable trick. And it took me 36 tries to land it. I remember.
Remember the precise amount of tries?
I remember because I counted it. Because after a certain moment, I was like, man, this is weird, man. I usually tend to land it easily, and now I don't get it. But I pushed through, and man, when I first landed, damn. I was excited, man. I was super excited. And now I never do the trick anymore either. That's the funny thing about it. But I know that was one of my biggest excitement feelings in wakeboarding, though, because it took me so long to get it. Yeah. And yeah, I should try to do that more, I think, sometimes, because I always tend to go for an easier. It's not always easy tricks, but I know I get them quite fast. Like 5-6 tries, I usually land something that is very close to landing, or like maybe a butt check, or maybe hand drag or something. But the trick is done, and that's nice. But it's not super rewarding. It's like, man, something you need to battle for it. You know, it's nicer to battle for something, I guess, than just landing it after 6 times. Because this sounds a bit braggy, but I also think because I try to do tricks that are like, I don't skip the basics. I'm not gonna try going for a chrome ope 7 if I have not done a chrome ope, which is only a 360. If you would do a chrome ope, you first do a scarecrow, which has a flip with a 180 in it. Chrome ope has this flip with a 360 in it. Then you have chrome ope 5, and then you have chrome ope 7. So there's a lot of steps in between, and I'm not skipping steps usually. So that's probably why I tend to easily land a trick. Because if you're gonna skip, you're gonna have a hard time. Fun thing also is, like, I learned this here, that you shouldn't skip, because where I used to work and when I got fired, there was not a lot of people around there that wakeboarded. There was some, but there was not like a crew. There was not like a family of friends wakeboarding there. A little family, but everybody was just a bit a rookie, and everybody was a bit just doing what they want, you know. And I know that after 2 years of riding there, I was already trying to go for a 720. And I was going for a 720 because I already did like a lot of 260s in that spin that I was doing that side. I love backside 3, and then I did backside 5s. I had a really steady backside 5, so I tried to go for a backside 7. And then that 7 was hard to land, and then I know that. Then I got fired, and I had to come here, and I saw people here wakeboarding, and I saw everybody was like doing switch a lot, and like doing everything on the obstacle, spinning left, right, and everything. And I was like, man, why am I trying to go for a 720 after 2 years if I don't even know how to do a switch back 1 off a kicker, which is a basic? And I saw everybody doing it. I was like, okay, you know what, Guy? Let's take it back, man. Let's take it back, and let's go back to the basics and go switch everything. Just switch. And I started doing switch, and I think I did 2 years of riding a lot of switch and just maintaining all the things that I already had and trying the normal basic tricks. And then I started to go for a 720 again. I think I landed it after 4 tries. Because I did everything that I had to do before to properly land. So that's why I don't ever skip a step, I guess.
Nice.
Which is also nice, I told you, like, getting a setback, fall down, and again, that's something nice that I learned here, because, yeah, different crew, different family, you see what they're doing, and then, like, if I would have stayed at that place where I was wakeboarding, I would never got to the level that I'm now. For sure not. For sure not. I was always going to be some just normal wakeboard guy that knows a bit how to wakeboard. Here, I've made sure that I have a good set of tricks, that I know a bit what I'm doing, and people know me here, and I've been competing on Belgium level only, and I think if I compete, people also think like, okay, shit, he is also in it. Let's hope I bring my A game. If he brings his A game, I need to bring my A game too, right? And this is nice, man. That's nice. That's what I always wanted to end in, and I always wanted to do this sport, and I always wanted to be like in a level that, you know, that my peers are also like looking at you like, what's he doing, you know, or like if you are in a competition, they're like, fuck, he's in it too, you know. That's a nice level to have. It's not the level like I'm gonna just enter and like see where I'm going to get, you know. I usually tend not to do well in competition. I suck quite hard, but I know if I'm on there on the dock, that usually people are like a bit like, oh fuck, if he's doing good, then yeah, I'm gonna need to do my A game as well. Which is fun, man. This is how sports should be, you know. I think in sports it's usually like that, but it's I don't know. Everybody needs to feed from each other a bit. Like, okay, fuck, this guy's here, this guy's here, and if he does this, makes that the sport progresses. It makes that everybody becomes better anyway. So it's super great. So.
Cool. Cool.
I don't know, man. Wakeboarding did a lot for me. It developed me on a personal level as well. It's funny that now I have way more energy to do other stuff next to it because I'm just having fun on work. I'm just having fun with my wakeboarding, everything, you know. And this makes that the things that you do next to it go better as well, you know.
Can I ask you something? It might be a weird question, so if you don't feel like answering, don't answer. Do you have any thinking process, anything, when you're up in the air?
When I'm doing a trick,
Yeah.
just land it. Just land it. During, usually not really. I know going towards the jump, for example, in certain tricks I think something. Like for me, doing a 720, I do, for example, a backside 5 very easy. If I go to the jump, I just do it. It's easy. And if I need to do a 720, I just think, just spin fast, jump and fast. And then I'm always landing it. But that's always what I'm thinking if I go, and then usually I do. But during the air, it's not really, I don't know.
No, I understand. I understand. It just, it's the kind of question I would want to hear a poetic answer to, like I think about my mom, you know, something. But I understand that in the reality it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, no. I must say though, like, if you want a poetic answer or something.
No, I want real answers.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, in life, during life, you're always thinking about something, right? There's always something going on in your head, and I still need to do this, I need to go get that, and I forgot about this, and blah blah blah. We're always busy. Everybody's busy. But if I'm on the water, I'm usually not thinking about anything. I'm just thinking about wakeboarding. I'm gonna do this today. I'm just gonna try that maybe. This guy in front of me, I like his riding. I'm gonna try copy him what he's doing. Or I'm in front of somebody else that I wanna like battle a bit with. Like, let's see what I can do. Oh, let's see what you can do. You know, you're just showing a bit. It's nice that you're just not thinking about something else. And I think everybody that does a sport a lot has this. That's why they want to do that sport, I think. Also, it's a big thing about it, that because we're always too busy, we're always too stressed, everybody's always stressed, you know. And I'm not even a guy that owns a business or has a lot of going on in his life that is like super stressy or something. But I'm always also stressed about small stupid stuff, you know. Like to get my car fixed or something, I need to do this, you know. It's just little stress. It's just something you need to do. So yeah, I don't know. It's not the poetic answer you want, maybe, but it's
a good answer.
Like
it's a good answer.
The other way around. It's just not thinking about anything.
It's a good answer.
That makes it nice, you know.
Do you think it has to? Because that's what I was thinking to myself. You think water? It has to do something with water. That water is healing. That water is like. I'm still looking for ways to connect it to poetic direction, but I was actually thinking that water and your connection with water, and it just makes you, well, we came from water originally, and you are engaging in a dance with water, so is to say. And do you think it's one of the main reasons why it helps you forget all the problems or
I've never thought about it like that. I'm gonna be honest about it. I never thought about it like that. I've never thought about so deep about it. No, for me it's more an expression. Wakeboarding is an expression, like you said, like a dance with water or something. I see it as a dance. Wakeboarding is a dance, for sure. It's just how cool can I dance? How nice can I dance? You know, that's a bit the thing. You know, you need to do tricks, but you also need to make them look good. I've always been like this. I would never do a trick that is like super crazy and make it look like it's doesn't look good. You know, like I want, for a fact, I need that everything looks good.
Oops, 1 sec.
Battery?
No, the memory.
I was telling about so what the thing is that I will never go for a big trick without making it look good. It needs to look good for me. I've always been like this. If I do a trick, I will redo the trick until it looks proper. It needs to look proper. It's just I've always noticed that if I look up to somebody in whatever sport, if he makes it look flawless and easy, it always really nice to look at. It's never the guy that is like the big guy and like just shoots a ball with 100 kilometers an hour that you're like, whoa. You know, okay, it's impressive maybe that he did it, but it doesn't look that good. If you make it look good, people are always like a bit like, hey, how does he make it look so good? How does it seem so effortless for him?
Effortless, yes.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. You always, if you make it seem effortless, people are always like watching like, huh? How? They wonder why. How? And that this whole thing, how? That is something that engages people of like, I want to try it too, like, because I want to know how, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. For me, proper. I want to make it feel proper. Today when we were shooting, also I did that one air trick. I missed the grab. I told you, I'm doing it again because the grab needs to be in it. I'm not gonna do a trick where I'm like next to my board. Oh yeah, okay, let's put it in the video. No, hell no. It needs to look proper, man. So we'll do it again. And yeah, and this is a frustrating thing. Man, I've filmed a lot that I'm super frustrated that it's not going like I want it. If I look back at the clips afterwards, we're like, damn, I'm like, shit, I'm still not doing it proper, you know? I'm wakeboarding 7 years and I still cannot do a proper easy trick sometimes, you know? So that's always a battle that I have every day. Every day when I'm wakeboarding, always. This will never stop because I just want it to look proper. And same thing, I'm getting into the surf now a bit lately, and it's nice, but I already know that I wanted to do it proper too. I'm not gonna be that surfer that goes a bit like on the wave, like you know. No. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this a lot surfing. I really want to do it. I really kind of start to love it as well. But it's gonna be the proper way for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a bit like this.
You just think, oh, he does it so easily. It comes so easily, but you don't see these 10, 7, 20 years that he has behind it.
Yeah, of course. And you could also think of it like it becomes a dance, right?
Speaking of dance, I wanted to ask you, if wakeboarding is the dance, which style are you dancing?
Damn. Which style am I dancing? You could say it's a bit swing, maybe.
What is it?
Swing, like the rock and roll swing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a common dance here in Belgium that a lot of people know, and it involves that you're dancing with a girl, of course, and it has a lot of like swings around the head and everything, and you could see the rope maybe as the girl that you're dancing with, right? You need to hold the handle.
Okay.
So maybe that's the thing. I don't know.
Pull it hard.
From time to time you need to pull it hard for sure, and that's also like the guy usually leads in the dance, and he needs to stop her turning, or like if she's spinning fast he needs to put his hand like here or there so she stops and like gets a counter rotation or something, and that's the dance. And we shot a trick today with a counter rotation in it, and that's maybe the dance thing, you know.
Yes.
I spin to the left, I yank my cable to the left to then go to the right. So that's also a stop into what you would be doing with dancing with a girl, I guess. Is it swing? I don't know. It could be salsa too, because in wakeboarding you need to also shift your body in a lot of movements, and the hips need to, if you want to do like a switch up from a rail from pressing on the left to the right, you need to switch up your hips. Going into the nose press, you're switching up your hips. Salsa is way more in the hips, of course. So yeah, I guess one of those two, but I think it's quite hard to put a name on which dance it is. I think it's my own dance that I'm doing, and try to do my own dance, I guess. If I go out partying, I also have my own dance. I don't dance like everybody else, I think. I always saw that a bit. It's funny to see that I always try to dance a bit weirder or something. When I was younger, I once read an article about like what is the kind of dance you need to do that people think like, oh, he's a good dancer. And it's not people that dance as a sport that they get this also. The people that dance for their sport, they also get recognition, and they're like, oh, you can dance good. They did in this article. They said there was a study that if you just move every part of your body a lot, it doesn't even have to, like have the same kind of movements. But if you dance a lot and just moving a lot with every part, a bit and everything, people are already gonna think like, oh, what's this? What is he doing? How is he dancing?
Who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. Okay, because and that apparently works for human beings. That if you move a lot with every part of your body, you're not dancing on your little square. That you're already gonna stand out. And the more I go abroad and I go partying in another country, you see people go a lot with more tiles to dance on. So, and then for me also, I watch and I see like them, they're moving a lot. So I'm also intrigued to watch them because they move a lot of area and they move a lot of the body parts. So I don't know, for me, I took a bit from that and I tried to do it as well. And I've noticed that if I'm dancing, sometimes people look at me like, the fuck? I don't know if they're looking like, what the fuck? Or like, if they like it or something, I don't know.
At least you're noticing.
my girlfriend likes how I dance. She says I dance really good.
That's
so
good enough.
I think that's good enough, right? Funny thing, my mom has never seen me dance like that.